Hi guys, today we are visiting some more houses in the area. I'm very excited and I have my judge with me. So obviously she needs to approve of the house we'll be living in. So this first house that we are visiting is located in Canías de Aceituno, which is a town near Lake Finuela. And the reason I wanted to see this house is because it is quite big. It is listed for only 350,000 euros and it has a lot of flat land. Or at least this is what I thought from the ad. But actually, in reality, the flat land is not fully connected to the house. So as you can tell, the interior is pretty Spanish. Like in most houses, you have the terracotta tiles, the furniture that I feel like is still something from many, many years ago. I always feel like they just kind of inherit a house or something from family and then never change the furniture. That's at least the impression that I get in most of these houses. This bathroom, I mean, you could probably just paint the tiles and still make something nice out of it. But yeah, in general, the Spanish style is not so much my thing. I also don't really like these hallways. I prefer big open spaces. But of course, you can always take some walls out. This actually is a decent room, like for a living room, or at least for a Spanish living room. It is quite big because usually every room is really small in Spanish houses. The kitchen is also not super tiny. I wouldn't call it this a bit big kitchen, but you can go outside through the kitchen. You could open it up, like just remove this super thin wall, and then you would actually have a really nice open kitchen plan where you could really enjoy your space. Also, this terrace, you could just like close it up and make a sunroom out of it. And then here, as you can tell, you have the garden, but it's not really a garden. This is just like gravel. So the flat land is gravel. And then the real garden is all the way down there. So there is flat land, but you would have to make a pot or something for the dogs. And also, I don't really like this view. Right now at our house, we have mountain view, and on our walks, we have really beautiful sea view. And here you just have some neighbors. You have the trees that kind of like shelter you from the neighbors, but yeah, they're also in the way of the view. Not that I really like this view. And then this pool, as you can tell, is also quite murky. I mean, it's not too bad. You can easily clean it, of course. But yeah, this house is not going to be it for us. We then decided to go for a nice walk around Lake Finuela. Honestly, the more I come here and the more houses I see in the area, the more I'm convinced I actually want to live in this area because it's really, really nice. It's so beautiful. It's very green. There's also a river that streams nearby from the mountains, which makes this a very lush area that is just always green the whole year round. And that's something I really miss where we live now because it's really brown at the moment. So it would be really nice if we could move here. And I think I will definitely narrow my search so we can see more houses in this area, which also, by the way, is only 20 minutes from the coast. And a super big plus is that it's only 20 minutes away from my favorite restaurant. This is called Bahia Jaspa in Torre del Mar. And as you can see, the food is really good. My mom and I always go here. There's always these little birds sitting on the table, which I like because I like all animals and I think they're really cute. This is also right next to the dog beach. So even though we won't be near our regular dog beach anymore, this is actually a bigger dog beach. There's also a nudist beach nearby, in case you're interested. And the second house that we viewed was a house that I actually liked a lot. So this house has 2 kitchens, which I think is something that I haven't seen before. So basically the house is really designed to be like a family house. I initially thought that maybe there was like a restaurant or like a cafe or something, but it's really just for the family. And what I absolutely adore about this house is this space. So basically, it's a covered terrace. but it feels like it's just part of the indoor space of the house. You have a nice view here. It's not sea view, it's not mountain view, but it's very lush and green. I really, really, really love this. Then that little fountain over there, the Andalusian tiles. This is something that I think is super beautiful. Would absolutely love to have that in my future house. But there is a very big downside to this house. And that is also immediately, I'm going to tell you the reason why I'm not buying this house, is that there is a goat farm right below the house. So that's a big disadvantage. First of all, it smells. You can really, really smell the goats. And it will drive my dogs insane. And on top of that, there are guard dogs surrounding the goat farm to protect the goats. And they are on a chain outside, which already I absolutely hate. So I don't want to live next to that because that's going to upset me every time. But also these dogs are German shepherds, and I don't want to be stressed that maybe one of them would get loose and want to protect the goats and everything. So yeah, too bad, because this is a huge house. It's more than, I think it was like 350 or 400 square meters. You have lots of these smaller rooms, but I mean, you can easily just take out the walls and make big open spaces. It's really nice and it's very well maintained. So this house definitely has lots of opportunities. And it is also listed for only 359,000 euros, which I think is a rather low price for such a big house. On the other hand, it needs renovating. Like, for example, this is the only bathroom, which is a bit ironic given that the house has 2 kitchens and lots of bedrooms. So I'm not sure how they do that, but yeah, it's really cute. I mean, I could so see myself having like a little office here, turning some of these rooms maybe into like a library. There's lots of options. You have a little terrace on that side and lots of outdoor space. Another downside to this house, though, is that there is another half-open building attached to it, and currently it's abandoned, but you never know who might move in there in the future, or they might tear it down and build something big next to it. So, yeah, that's not great, but honestly, if this house would have been, oh, this is kind of odd, would have been in a different location, this would really be an amazing house. Like, honestly, look at this terrace. It's just amazing. And then on top of the upstairs space, you also have this really big basement here. I mean, these stairs are not the best, but you can also access it through the outdoors. So there is lots of storage here. Like, really, you can keep all kinds of crap. And I could even put my car here. It's also super cool down here. So I could just, like, in summer, maybe create like a really nice area for the dogs to play and chill. Yeah, this really has a lot of opportunity. So I'm really bummed about the goat farm. And yeah, I mean, location, it's like, I think this was around 15 to 20 minutes from Lake Vinuela and like half an hour from the coast. So this is also in Canillas de Aceituno. You could remove this gate basically and put a big window. And this is the view from up top in the garden, which is quite nice. So you have the house down below, and you can even see the lake a bit from here. It's a bit hard to tell on the video. So I really like the second house, but for obvious reasons, we're not going to move there because the safety of my own dogs is my priority. And the next day, we visited another house. I initially wanted to make a separate video of this, but on the evening of this day, Duvel had his pericardial effusion, which I told you about in one of my previous videos, so I decided to put the clip of this house in this video as well. We are now in Arenas and we are viewing a house with sea view and lots of land, which is for sale for 470,000 euros. Initially, when I looked at the listing, it said that the house was 160 square meters. But in reality, I could immediately tell that this was not the case. So even though it has amazing views, I was already a bit disappointed because the house seemed pretty small. And what happened was that the real estate agent counted the terraces and then the carport and some other outside areas as part of the build space. So basically, that's what they sometimes do here in Spain, which gives a wrong impression. And I really hate it when they do that because I just want to know the actual size of the house. So anyway, the house looks really nice. I mean, the woman who lives here, she's French, she lives here on her own. And she tried her best to make it look nice. So in this house, I would say you wouldn't necessarily have to start renovating. There are some things that obviously are not to your taste, maybe. But overall, it looks good, it's decent. You can just live in it as is. It's only a 2-bedroom house. There is 1 bathroom. So I think the price reflects the view. So the sea view is probably what made this property cost 470,000 because the house in itself, without a separate guest annex and like a pool house like we have, I think normally wouldn't be this expensive if it didn't have the sea view. Also a funny shaped bath here. I like the mirrors though. The arch, kind of nice. But again, there's like this hallway, which a lot of houses have, not only in Spain, but just in general. And I just don't like it because I feel like you lose so much space and it's just unnecessary. The realtor had also made a lot of AI simulations for this house, and I think they turned this room into some kind of office space. Then they put the mirror here clearly to make it look a bit bigger, I think. And then here on the kitchen wall, on the pictures, it looked really nice because it looked tiled, but it's actually just vinyl. So that's also something that I've noticed that a lot of times in pictures, something looks like it's made out of wood or tiled or something, but then in real life, it's actually just a piece of plastic that's made to look like that, which also is disappointing. So this space actually is not too bad. Like, it's an open kitchen. You could say it's an open kitchen, and you could put a big window here, but the kitchen is really small. If you would make it bigger and, you know, put like a large couch and everything, I think the space would look a lot smaller already. And then you have this outside kitchen barbecue area, which in my opinion does not look as good as it could, but that's all right. But you see, all these like extra spaces outside were basically counted as built space, which would have been nice if they were actually built. But yeah, the house has lots of land, a very big garden. Here it's a bit steep, but there is also a lot of flat patches. But directly surrounding the house, it's all stones. So I would prefer to just walk outside and immediately step in grass, because where I live now, it's concrete and that's not too nice for the dogs either. So this won't be it, I'm afraid. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time.